Hello there, and welcome to another episode of Coffee Break Blogging. Today we're going to talk about how you can actually build your list and make money while you do it. And also, you could do it dependably, because the other thing is that a lot of bloggers, they try to build their list. They've got the opt-in in their sidebar and stuff like that, but just they don't have that many people actually joining. Well, there is a way to shortcut the entire system, and we do that by actually using paid traffic. Facebook ads come to mind first and foremost. Now, if you're having a knee-jerk reaction by thinking that you can't afford that, then I want you to listen to this episode, because this is the way that people can afford to go and do paid traffic and these types of things and not actually lose money. If your knee-jerk reaction is that I can't afford paid traffic, I want you to just kind of see how the numbers work out here. Now, there's a guy named Kevin Kelly. He's got a blog. You may have heard of him, and he has a blog post that he wrote about 1,000 true fans. It's the idea that all you need really is 1,000 true fans to make a living off of it. Now, if you look at your email list, you look at what it is that you're actually building there. Well, if you're doing it right, you're building up true fans. Now, obviously, numbers being what they are, not everybody who gets on your list is going to be a true fan. There are going to be those people who are on your list who just casually keep an eye on what you're doing. That's fine. But the thing is, as you're building your list, you're going to be building these true fans. And so you're building it. 1,000 true fans can pay all your bills. You can make a living off of that. But the thing is, as you progress up to that point, you can start to make money. It might not be enough to make a living off of right away, but as you're building this asset, as you're building your true fans, you can build up slowly on a graduated incline up to this point where you can actually pay your bills off of this. Okay, but in order to do that, you've got to offer something of value to people, because that's pretty much how you're going to make money. At the end of the day, there are two primary ways to make money, two things that you have to do. First of all, you have to have something of value that's actually going to help people. And the second is that you have to offer it to them. In the more plain English way of saying it, that means that you've got to sell it to them. So yes, sales is definitely part of this, and you're going to not be able to make money as you build your list if you don't make offers to the people who are subscribing to your list. That's just the way that the game has to work. There's no other way to go about it, okay? So the basis of making money is to make offers to these people who are subscribing to your list. Now, over at the Blog Marketing Academy, I talk about something called the blog profit funnel. It's essentially a sales funnel. That's really what it is. So it's not like it's a new concept, and I certainly didn't invent it. But the sales funnel is this idea of having a graduated series of things that one can buy. And generally, it's going to move from something on the lower end of the price point up to eventually things that are higher than that. Now, at this episode, what we're talking about is building your email list. So at this point in the sales funnel, we're at the very beginning of the process, the typical pattern. Most people are going to join your list, and then they might buy something. Now, obviously, in real life, it doesn't always work in that nice linear fashion. Sometimes you're going to have people who literally the first time they ever join your list, they're a customer. They're buying something right away. And that does happen. Or if you do webinars and stuff like that, sometimes people will, they'll RSVP for a webinar, and they might buy something on that webinar, and they become very quickly a customer. But on a general average basis, you can look at the beginning of the sales funnel as being get onto the list. So what's going to happen is that these people are going to come into a squeeze page. Now, we've talked about squeeze pages on this podcast before, but it's a single purpose page, and the only purpose of it is to get them onto the list. And generally, it offers something of value, something that they want, something that they want to learn, and you give it to them in exchange for their email address. Now, here's where you can actually start to make money as you build that list, is that you can put an offer immediately after they subscribe to the list. So What most bloggers do is they subscribe, the people will subscribe to the list, and then they will see a confirmation page or a thank you page. And on those pages, you're either going to have, oh, okay, thank you for subscribing. Now go check your email, click the link to confirm, blah, 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 blah. Or you'll get just a general thank you page, or just thanks them for becoming a subscriber, yada, yada, yada. The whole thing is that most bloggers are not putting offers behind the opt-in. They're putting logistical things or just a general welcome. And that's actually a huge waste of real estate if you're looking to make money doing this. So what you should do is put an offer on the page that they immediately see after they subscribe. So they go to a squeeze page and then they opt in, and then they see an offer. Now, the other thing is that when that person gets onto your email list, you should be following up with that offer via your autoresponder sequence. Now, we've also talked about autoresponder sequences in this podcast before. So if you're not following along with me linearly, then just back up a few episodes. Go back into the 70s or so. We've been talking a lot about list building here. So go back into the 70s in terms of the episode numbers here on Coffee Break Blogging, and we cover a lot of this stuff. But that autoresponder sequence should follow up with the offer that you give them immediately after they subscribe. So they're getting hit with two different things. Well, not two. They're getting hit with the same thing, but in just two different ways. You're going to give them an offer on the screen, and then simultaneously to that, they're going to start to receive follow-up emails for that exact same offer. And so you have 2 or 3 or 4 different opportunities to get them to buy this one thing. Now, obviously, it goes without saying you don't want to be spammy about this. You want to make sure that the offer that you're giving them is highly valuable, that's very, very tightly related to the thing they originally opted in for. It needs to flow and it needs to make sense. If you come out the gate with some oddball offer and they're like, what the hell is this? It's obviously not going to sell, and you would be doing your subscribers a disservice. So don't do that, but you could still present that offer. Now, let's look into how this would work in terms of running paid traffic from Facebook ads or the like into this funnel. So you put an ad up on Facebook, and let's say that it's costing you 50 cents per lead to get people into your squeeze page, or 50 cents per click to get them over to your squeeze page. And you have a squeeze page, and let's just hypothetically say that your squeeze page is converting at 50%. Now, 50% for a really well done squeeze page is actually not super difficult to do. Most of them tend to average anywhere between, let's say, 30%, and I've seen them go up into the 60s and 70s. So 50 is kind of right smack in the middle, and you'll probably, if you have the right kind of people coming into your squeeze page and you've got a really good lead magnet sitting there, you can probably get into the 40s to 50% range on opt-in. So that means that for every 2 people that hit that squeeze page, 1 of them is going to opt in. Okay? So again, it's costing you 50% clicks to get over to this page, and you got a 50% opt-in rate. So basically, if you send 100 people to your squeeze page from Facebook, it's going to cost you $50. Okay? But because you got a 50% opt-in rate, then only 50 of those 100 people are actually going to opt in. So for those $50, you will have put 50 people on your email list. Okay? So you can see how you can actually fund the growth of your list by doing this. Now, of those 50 people, you've spent $50 to get them there. Now you just need to make back $50 from those 50 people to break even, or even better, to actually profit, to actually make money as you build your list. So it's a numbers game. You present an offer there. You'd have to track the conversion rate on that offer. Let's say that you have a $10 product, just $10. Well, you'd have to have 5 of those 50 people buy that $10 thing, and you will have made back your $50, and you will at least broken even by putting 50 people on your email list by doing that. Now, if you have even 1 more person buy, you're making money. Or if you increase your price a little bit and make it to where it's not, so the same 5 people buy, but now it's a $15 product, you just made money. So it's all just balancing out the numbers. If you have a lower price product, you'd have to have more people buy it, okay? Hopefully you can see how that works. But it truly is a numbers game. And by putting that offer there, and if you have enough people buy it, you can actually either break even. So you're basically building your list essentially for free at that point because you're making back everything that you spend. But if you have your conversion rates are decent enough, you can actually make money while you do this. And then, of course, everything after that they've bought is all gravy. It's all pure profit at that point. Okay? I want to point you into an action plan that I've created inside the Blog Monetization Lab, okay? And this is called Creating a Blog Profit Funnel. This action plan goes right to the heart of everything that we're talking about right now. I don't get into how to do paid traffic and stuff like that. This is just the funnel setup, how to actually set up a linear funnel that actually will make you money. And this action plan is called Creating a Blog Profit Funnel, and it's only available to members of the Blog Monetization Lab. So run on over to blogmonetizationlab.com to learn more about that and learn about the benefits of becoming a member to the lab. We've got a lot of members joining all the time, and I'd love to have you on board. And I think that this is probably one of my favorite action plans that I've got inside the library right now. It's called Creating a Blog Profit Funnel. Okay? All right. Thanks for listening to this episode, and I will see you next time.